Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to talk about immigration, and more specifically, I'm going to give you guys a libertarian perspective on immigration. So first off, I want to address the term open borders, which I feel is a little bit of a misnomer, and I'm going to explain why. So open borders, so think about it this way. What do borders do? Borders are supposed to impede entry into a certain area, right? And open borders, the concept of open borders is pretty much everybody is allowed in, regardless of circumstances, and everybody's allowed in. Uh, that so if everybody's allowed in, then there is no border. If everybody's allowed in, there is no border. There's no such thing as open borders. Either there is some kind of some kind of restrictions, or there's not. And if there's not, then there is no border. I just figured I should probably get that out of the way first. That's kind of something that bothers me a little bit. I figured that's something that really needs to be addressed. Now, so let's talk about immigration in relation to libertarianism. So let's talk about voting patterns. Let's talk about voting patterns. So voting patterns in the United States. Now we can go on about how whether or not either party is really sticks to their word, or whether or whichever party is better for the cause of libertarianism. That's not really the point here. We're just talking about on paper. Now let's get into racial voting patterns and the demographics of immigration. Now, most immigrants to the United States come from Latin America, Asia, and Africa. I mean, up until around up until the 1960s, most immigrants from the United States to the United States came from Europe. The Hart-Celler Act of 1965 changed this. Now, in terms of voting patterns in the United States, white people primarily vote Republican, and non-whites primarily vote Democrat. Now, again, we can get into whether this party is good or bad. Not really the point here. Uh, we can also look at opinion polls, right? Now, non-whites are more likely to support hate speech laws. Non-whites are more likely to support. Non-whites are more likely to support gun control and bigger government. White people, by and large, diametrically oppose all of those things. Most whites still oppose all of those things on average. So that's something we need to be cognizant of whenever quote unquote libertarians, go on about open borders and all this other stuff. So um, yeah, that's one thing we need to be cognizant of. So what is the libertarian solution to this? Well, Hans Hermann Hoppe. Now, granted, I'm not very well versed on Hans Hermann Hoppe's argumentation, but I've read some of his essays on immigration, and he proposes something akin to privately owned borders, not government-run borders. And I think it's better to say that libertarians are opposed to state-run borders, not privately owned borders, because I think that and any genuine libertarian would say that would not be opposed to a property owner having privately owned to a property owner being able to exclude or include whoever they want on their property. And I think that's how borders need to be. Neighborhoods, societies, whatever, communities should be able to exclude or include whoever they want. So I don't believe in affirmative action or diversity laws or any of this other stuff. I think that people should be able to freely associate with whoever they want. I'm against forced integration. I'm against forced segregation. Freedom of association. So yeah, and also so yeah, back to the voting patterns. What this means is, I think as long as we have a state, there should be restrictions on immigration. Once we get rid of the welfare state, then we can start loosening immigration restrictions. And that's what Stefan Molyneux says. That's what several other prominent libertarians say, and I'm in agreement with them. So yeah, guys, what do you think? And what do y'all think? Hit me up in the comments, subscribe, share this video, get the word out. So yeah, guys, peace.